Looks as though I'm having an issue with my A1 Mini. I do see. So as for our sales for the week. Good morning, howdy, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Ryan, and join me as we go through another week in my little 3D print farm. So I have been hard at work this weekend, kind of getting some more things set up for the festival I'm going to be doing this week. As you can see, I have a bunch of dragons, and yes, they are not organized yet. Some small and medium variety, just in preparation, because I know whenever I've done festivals, I sell out of them. So that's going to be a main focus that I'm doing this week. In fact, that is what I'm currently running on my printers. I have a batch of steampunk dragons. This is in the small size, which I do a 60% size for the Cinderwing dragons for small. I have some of those running. Probably going to try to do it for a batch of all my double colors that I have up there. So I should have quite a bit of them. And if I don't sell through them this particular festival, I'm not concerned, because we're going to be doing the Pineville Festival, which is a 3-day festival next week. So yeah, that's what I have on this one. I also did go ahead and do my maintenance for all my printers over the weekend. Did a deep clean, did some cold pulls on the nozzles just to kind of clean them out, especially because this one I've been running some TPU through it lately, which I have the TPU right there, just to make sure it was nice and clean for everything. In the process, I don't exactly know, or in the process, this particular P1S, I was having issues afterwards with it doing its calibration. It was failing, saying no calibration detected. And I spent a few hours looking at it, trying to figure out what was going on, all to find out that apparently, and I'm sharing this so you are all aware, because I was not aware, that when you do the calibration, a part of one of the tests is a flow test, and you need to make sure that you have some filament in there. Problem was, I had no filament loaded because I was in the process of doing cold pulls, or I just finished doing cold pulls. So if you ever run into issues with at least the P1Ss not being able to do the auto calibration and it just getting to about 24% and failing, make sure that you have some filament going through it. I was really surprised that was the case, but after feeding filament, it's now able to calibrate and no issues. So I do have some other dragons running on those too right now. So yeah, probably today and tomorrow I'll be focusing on the dragons. Then from there, I'll stock up on a few more of my minis. They've been going pretty good, and have a few of them that are getting low, like the hedgehogs, the mice, the giraffes. Let's see, any other ones that I can think of. Yeah, that's probably the big ones that I need to fill up. But I'll work on just stocking up just quite a few different options. And yeah, so that's really going to be what my plan is for this week. Yeah, I'll touch base with you guys tomorrow. Good morning. It is Tuesday, and to start things off, looks as though I'm having an issue with my A1 Mini. It's been printing fine. However, I noticed towards the end of the day yesterday that it's giving off a electrical burning smell that's coming from the tool head. I wasn't able to smell it here, but just from here, and it's only while it's turned on and you know, I don't quite recall if it's when it's just running or if it's just turned on, but either way, the smell's coming from here. It'd be fine to run because it was still working, but as soon as the print finished, I decided I'm going to disassemble this and kind of see what's going on in the tool head. My hope is that maybe there's just some debris that's gotten caught in there that just needs to be cleaned off. My fear is that we've got something burning in there, a part, a cable, something of that nature. So I'll figure out what's going on, and I'll take you guys through the process with me. As for what I've been printing, my other printers, I've been focusing on the dragons just because of the festivals that I have. Just a batch of minis and a batch of smalls. In fact, I'm doing the last batch of dragons now that I plant. So these are the solar dragons that I have printing in a matte color. Essentially what I did was, because I have the 3 multicolored printers, I did 3 small and 3, no, sorry. I picked a type of dragon, like the solar dragon, and I printed 3 versions of it, 1 for each printer in a different color, both in a small and in a large. It's like this one's in the rosy cloud, so I have a small and a medium going for that one. This one is in the malachite color, so I have a small and a medium from there. I did it in crystal, I did it in the cat dragon, the steampunk dragon, so that way I will have at least 3 of each dragon, as well as in different color options available, at least as of this moment. As for the P1S, I have a Posca marker getting printed right now. This is for a order that came in last night. I normally have those printing on the Mini right there, but figured I would just go ahead and knock it out because I don't want to worry about getting it. If I run into an issue that I can't get it repaired, I'd prefer to just knock it out with this one. As for my plans for the rest of the day, it's going to be just doing that, focusing on fixing this printer. So one thing I actually just thought about right now, that might be the reason, I don't know, is I have been running a lot more TPU through here. I know it's a lot more flexible. I could see it kind of get caught up in the gears a bit more, but why that would cause a burning smell, I don't know. Just something I just thought about right now. So yeah, I'll take you through the process as I disassemble this and kind of see if we can find anything. Alright, so I'm going to be disassembling this particular tool head to see if I can figure out where that electrical burning smell is coming from. Alright, so we have this off with the extruder. I do see some black here. Not sure if that's just gunk that needs to be cleaned. Oop. We do have the extruder. Not sure if it's gunk that just needs to be cleaned up or if it's any burn residue, but I'll place that here and kind of I do see, once again, not quite sure if that's any damage or just clean up. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and clean this up, remove some of the parts that I can, and get a deeper look at it. Okay, I cleaned that up. That looked like it was actually just some dust from where I haven't done a deep clean inside. Also noticing some dust around the fan well, so I'm gonna have to pick up some compressed air. That could possibly even maybe be the smell with the dust burning, but it did smell more electrical. I am gonna check inside further just to see if there's anything else there. So looks like I'm gonna have to get in here. Didn't realize that. May end up having to pop up a video just to see the process. All right, picked up some compressed air. Now I'm gonna go ahead and give it a nice good clean. Okay, spun it around because I realized all the electrical components was over on this side. To pop it off, it was pretty straightforward. There was that little section right there. I could just take a flathead and just pop it out and it came right off. So I don't see any burn marks, at least on this side. I'll have to get a little bit closer, but that's a good sign. I'm probably not going to disassemble the tool head any further, just because I don't think it's maybe necessary. I'm hoping maybe it was the dust buildup that was causing it. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, if I have to disassemble it further, I will, but it's about as much as I'd casually like to do. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put it right back together. I wasn't able to see anything. I did pull this part back a little bit, shine some lights in, took a look at the motherboard on the other side. I don't see any burn marks. So I'm hoping that it's either a mix between the filament I was using. So I'm gonna try to run just some basic white through it afterwards just to see. And maybe the dirt that I was smelling. Because it definitely was pretty dirty in here. And I was just able to blow that away. As well as using some isopropyl alcohol to clean some of it as well. Of course, not touching the circuit boards with it. Probably would help if I put it in the right way. I had issues getting the cable, so I had to kind of push it through from the side. That way it would be able to fit in there. And you shouldn't put this part on first. When it comes to the filament blade, you need to make sure that you place this to where it's going to go in. If not, it's not going to be able to cut. For anyone who cares, I forgot a few screws, had to end up undoing the whole thing. Forgot that screw, that screw, that screw, and that screw. Just a reminder, unless you really know what you're doing, probably look at a guide. Don't look at me when you're doing these things. This is just me documenting my process. Good morning. It is Thursday. I missed updating you guys yesterday. But yesterday I ended up finishing up the rest of these dragons. I have those up. And I started printing a few jumbos. So I already have one of the cow jumbos finished. And I have a few others that I'm working on. Just kind of getting the last minute stuff together and printed before I pack things up tomorrow for Saturday for our festival. I do have some minis I'm going to need to get, like some of these giraffes, as well as the hippocampus and the permaids. I'm working on those. Past that, mostly just focusing on the minis. Might try to get some more wolves if I can, and some hummingbirds. Those are easy enough on the mini. As for the mini, I'm slowly doing some prints, meaning I'm doing a few here and there, not overnight right now. I'm still smelling a little bit of that burnt smell. I think it's coming from the... I forget what it's called off the top of my head, but it's the heating element that's right in here. It's the only part that looked a little off, and it wouldn't make sense based on the smell. I've reached out to Bamboo Support to see if they can replace. It's only a $20 part to replace, but yeah. So right now I am printing an order that I have for it. And the smell has gotten a little bit better, I've noticed, but still just playing it careful. But yeah, so I'm using that just for a few things, just not overnight. Over on my P1S, I have a giant Bigfoot printing right now. This is actually in a marbled rainbow, so it kind of changes colors. And I have a giant or jumbo cat printing. My daughters had picked those ones and colored them. On the A1, I just started a batch of some hippocampus, the giraffes, and the mermaids. So I'm working on those. I will say, and I guess it's kind of the design for this one, I don't normally ever put brims, but for some reason, whenever I do the giraffes or some of these items from Cinderwing, I'm having to put a brim or else I'm having an issue with it. I am curious for anyone who does print. Do you guys print minis, I should say? Do you guys put brim on your items? I don't typically lose things that often, like maybe one or two of them in a batch of 30. But I just don't like dealing with having to remove the brims. So I'd love to get feedback if you put brims on yours, or not. Bigger stuff, I mean, that's not as big of a deal because it's easy enough to remove, but on the small things, it's kind of a pain. But yeah, let me know your feedback. Past that, yeah, we're making progress. We have a ton of dragons done. I probably went a little overkill with them, but we'll sell them. And I do have some of the mystery eggs I'm going to be getting together. And yeah, that is where we are at for right now. I'll touch base with you guys tomorrow with where we're at. Good morning. It is Friday, and been hard at work getting the last stuff ready for the festival tomorrow. Got the dragons, got the eggs packed, got all my stuff together that I'm going to be putting in bins. Been busy working on a few hue forges. That's going to be focusing on printing for the rest of the day today to try to fill up this tiered stacker. I don't normally bring them to the farmers markets, but for the festivals, they normally do half decent. So I figured I'd get them together. And yeah, so this is what we're at. As for what I'm printing, over on the A1, I have some minis finishing printing. They should be done fairly soon. I don't know what is up with the design of these ones from Cinderwing, but for some reason these giraffes, I keep losing them. I've put brims on them even, and they get like about halfway up the head and they just fly off. So luckily it looks like they're all pretty much done being built, so I shouldn't have to worry about it too much longer, but yeah, not sure what's up there. Over on the A1 Mini, I have a quackadile that I'm printing. I've had a few requests for some ducks lately, so I figured I would just do a few more, and I'm actually doing this in some TPU because I had some TPU I was trying to get through and figured it'd be a little fun one. On the P1S, we have the Cinderwing unicorn that my daughter did. This is the last jumbo that I'm printing. She picked out the color. She's so excited. We're going to be trying to sell those at the markets. And over here we have hue forges running. This one's going to be a fox that is running. Can't quite get a good picture of it. But yeah, so that's what we're planning. Am I ready for tomorrow? I hope so. Am I ready for the next 2 weeks of festivals? Probably not. I think I went a little heavier on dragons because those always sell out at the festivals. But that meant that I also just neglected some other things. But I should be good for tomorrow. As for the Pineville Festival, we will see. So, yeah, that's where we're at. Tomorrow, the festival isn't until later in the day, so I might touch base with you guys in the morning. If not, I'll just show you how things are at the actual festival. It's going to be a 6 or 7 hour festival, so I'm expecting things to be good. As for right here, this is the first of the filaments that I ordered from Amazon. I went ahead and took advantage of their Amazon Prime deals to get some good deals and focused exclusively on the Zero brand. I've heard you guys commenting and responding to my question, and I appreciate that. And I'm going to focus next week, once I get all these filaments in, on doing a filament review for the Zero brand. So look forward to that. All right, I'll touch base with you guys tomorrow. This is our setup at the Mountaineer Festival. Was able to use all 3 tables. Figured I'd give a small little update. It's been rather slow, actually. I mean, I've gotten probably about $150 sales so far. It's been about 2 hours out of the 6 hours. It's definitely a little bit of a smaller festival, but at least it was a free one, so that's a good plus. And the food trucks are to be desired, but hey, can't quite complain about a free one. All right, final update probably. It's about 4 o'clock, and business started picking up finally a little bit. Still not going to be what our normal festivals are, but should be quite a bit better. We'll see how it is towards the end of it, but I think we're at least at 400, maybe 500. So not terrible, but not perfect. But yeah, also shout out to Rocky. I appreciate you coming by and actually seeing me here. It was great to see someone who watches come by. All right, it is Saturday evening. We're back from the festival that we had gone to. Pretty tired, to be frank. Was a pretty busy day. Haven't even unloaded things yet. Still have everything in my totes. Somehow my bins got knocked over inside. Nice. So yeah, in a minute I'm gonna go ahead and just reset up my display to show what we've sold and let you guys know how it went. All right, I now have it all set up, and yeah, now we can really get a good idea as to what all we have left after the market. It's still a mess just because of transport and just kind of how kids are touching everything and whatnot, but this will give us a good idea. So the market ended up doing decent. Not quite festival level that I'm normally expecting, but definitely better than my normal farmers markets. So a pretty good market overall. It was only a 6-hour market, and the beginning of the market was really nippy, so it probably was just the last 4 hours when we really started to have traffic pick up. So as for what's sold, once again, the mystery eggs, huge hit. That seems to be our big bread and butter whenever we do these markets. Just kids love the surprise, the mystery, and whatnot. We also sold about 7 out of our 11 pack-in eggs, which is where we allow them to pack things from the table themselves. But that it costs a little bit more because they're able to, of course, cram more things into there. Past that, we had some small dragons that sold. Not quite as many as I expected, just because festivals, once again, we tend to get a lot of dragon sales. And then past that, it was just little bits here and there. A lot of the fidget items sold pretty good. The bats sold pretty good. I'm almost out of the bats, actually. I need to print some more. And these crystal wolves sold. So I'm definitely going to be getting those printed for next weekend, where we're going to be in the Pineville area. So as for our sales for the week, at the festival, we ended up making $775. So once again, not bad. 6 hours, over $100 an hour. Definitely great. The other festivals we've done, we've broken $1,000 each time. So that's kind of what we were expecting, but it's all good. As for how it broke down, we had $378 in cash, and then about $394-ish in credit. And the reason I break those down is just for anyone who's curious, because I know some individuals may not have the capabilities of selecting card, or they may not, haven't gone through the option of getting square or anything of that nature. Definitely miss out on a lot of sales if you only take cash. So yeah, it was not too bad. While we were there, we actually got 2 orders, one on our Etsy site, and one on our Shopify site as well, which we haven't gotten too many Shopify orders. Now, I don't push it as much, but it was nice to see it come through. So I'm already starting on the Etsy one. I'll start on the Shopify one later. But yeah, so our online orders for the week, we did have 5 orders for the week total. And our total was $93 online. So that puts our total for the week at $868. So pretty good week overall. Next week, I'm expecting to be even bigger because, of course, we're going to have the big Pineville market. And I have a lot to get printing because that's going to be a 3-day market starting on a Thursday night from 5 to 9 p.m., then a Friday night from 5 to 9 p.m., and then ending with a 12-hour day on a Saturday. So I'm going to be exhausted. But we'll hopefully sell out. Especially those dragons. I got to get some more mystery eggs. Going to have to get some more bats. Going to have to get some more wolves. Bigfoots were good on. Some more minis. I'll have to get those kind of put together because those are always items that pull people in. Yeah, and just kind of go that route. Just see what we can do all the way up until. As far as the jumbos, I didn't actually expect any of them to sell. Yeah, figured I'd throw them out as options, but we had a lot of people who commented on them, looked at them, of course, with a $50 price point because they are bigger items, less bites. But they were nice talking points. They kind of brought people into the table, so that's a good thing as well. But these are actually ones I can sell compared to my Pikachu, where I'm not playing the licensing trademark game. So, yeah. As for what I'm printing right now, this is the order that I got in. This is for a... it's kind of like a red Solo Cup party organizer. Gonna go ahead and get that printed. That way it's knocked out for tomorrow. And while I was at the market, I printed a couple more of the large dragons. This time I went with the axolotl design. Printed that in the layers in green. Sorry, not layers in green. The gradient green filament. And this one in the Zyro rainbow filament. Okay, I was making sure. I just noticed that the top of those is really flat, but I guess that's how the design is. So, yeah, that's kind of how it went. I did also get in the last of my orders from Zyro for the filament. There's another filament order right there and one right there. So it's about 6 different filaments I'm going to be using to test. You guys had mentioned wanting me to do a little bit of filament review. And yeah, so I'll kind of do some testing and let you guys know my thoughts and maybe start a series of ranking filaments. I think it'll be interesting. I'm not going to commit to how often I'm going to be doing them, but I'll try to get this next one done in the next week or so. But that's it for this video. It's getting long. It's late. I'm going to try to get this edited and up so that way it's ready for tomorrow. And yeah, if you guys, have any questions for me, I appreciate it. Hit it in the comment. Let me know your thoughts, and I will, answer any questions, or if you have any comments or whatever. And I know I touched base on it a little bit, but it was actually a really nice surprise that I had someone from my YouTube channel who actually came by. They had heard that I was going to be there and stopped by my booth, and, it's nice to see someone who actually watches the content. And I know I was busy at the time, but Rocky, just want to let you know that actually did mean quite a bit to me, so I do appreciate it. Well, if you guys enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next week.